The Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network, in conjunction with 5 City TV and the Great Plains Athletic Conference, presents Prairie Wolves football. Today it's a GPAC matchup featuring the Tigers of Doane College and the Nebraska Wesleyan University Prairie Wolves. This game is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. It's your electricity, own it. Union Bank, you belong here. And Nebraska Wesleyan University. Now let's take you out to Able Stadium.
An October Saturday in Lincoln, and what better thing to happen on an October Saturday where you got Nebraska's version of Bedlam. It's Nebraska Wesleyan and Doane on the football field here at Able Stadium. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Moats along with John Harris here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. This is a heated rivalry that goes back over 100 years now, John. The 101st meeting, the last time these two teams will meet as conference opponents, since Nebraska Wesleyan will become a full-time member of Division III in the NCAA next year and join the Iowa Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. So it's a bittersweet moment and a big game today, no doubt.
Well, it always is for Wesleyan and Doane. Not that they don't necessarily like each other, but when they play, it goes down to the wire. Each team's playing their hardest, and they mark this game on their schedule every year.
Every year indeed. In fact, you go back to the last 2 meetings. It was 2 years ago on this very field where it came down to a last play with under 2 minutes to go. Tyler Francis to Connor Zumpf that gave Nebraska Wesleyan the win. But unfortunately, last year for the Prairie Wolves, they go down to Doane. They meet up with a pretty good defense, and the Tigers prevailed in that one. And that's where the special teams didn't go so well for Nebraska Wesleyan. Today, in that matchup here for Nebraska Wesleyan, special teams is going to come into play, among other things.
Well, Coach Keller needs every facet of his team to be working well. Of course, offense, defense, and special teams. It's the small things, Jeff, that wins games like this.
The other thing, too, is the line play. That's going to come down to being a big part of this ball game today, especially when you look at the sacks that have not been allowed at all this year.
Well, Wesleyan's done a great job. Only 1 sack given up against Ben Green this season. Of course, Doane wants to get to the quarterback, and so the Wesleyan offensive line has to do a tremendous job of protection so we can get that ball down the field to Larson and others.
And you look at Doane on the other side. Their defense is one of the top in the country. They rank 10th, I believe, in the nation when it comes to their defensive performance. The other thing, too, with Doane is that they want to establish their ground game as well. They got a pretty good running game, but last week they struggled a little bit on the ground against Northwestern.
Well, that might be a place where Wesleyan can take advantage. They have to tackle well. They have to team tackle against Meyer and those Tiger offensive players. And so, again, the line of scrimmage will mean everything here today.
When you look at some of the key players today that you'll be watching, Wes Betcher, the safety, the linebacker, Kalen Vandenberg, 2 key defensive players that Wesleyan needs to utilize a lot today and become a big play factor on the defensive side of the ball. The other thing, we talked about special teams. Kramer Rath, 4-4 for field goals so far.
Well, it could come down to Kramer Rath from 40, 50, whatever it might be. He has to get it done. He's done a great job here recently, and why not win this game today?
You got Garrett Borcher on the other side, though, for Doane on defense. He is the reigning GPAC Player of the Week. Aaron Hanlon is another guy that was a former GPAC Defensive Player of the Week earlier in the season. That's going to be another big force. And then we mentioned Nate Meyer, the running back on that Doane offense. Once they get that ground game going, watch out for Nate Meyer.
Well, you have to tackle. He's a tough runner. He's a guy who likes to go between the tackles. He can get outside, very versatile. So Wesleyan is going to have to wrap him up, get him to the ground, and hold him there so he can't get back to the huddle.
Should be a good game today here at Able Stadium on a gorgeous but breezy Saturday afternoon in Lincoln. Nebraska's version of Bedlam, as I like to say it. Nebraska Wesleyan and Doane, the Prairie Wolves and the Tigers are going to kick it off next on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's First Filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
This is the new amazing. This is the life we dreamed of. This is me and you.
Introducing UBT Go, digital banking from UBT. Send money with a click, deposit checks from your phone, and more. We're constantly adding new capabilities so that wherever you go, your money will be right there with you. Visit ubt.com/go. Union Bank, you belong here.
You should pick Wesleyan because
It's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Back at Able Stadium here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network with John Harris. I'm Jeff Moats and our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew as both the captains from both teams meeting at the 50-yard line to see who's going to get the opening kick and who's going to receive. There you see the current conditions. A few clouds, some sun, 55, and east breeze coming in. And, you know, it was a little bit breezy earlier during our pregame, John, but it sounds like the winds have kind of died down slightly. Not necessarily going to affect the kicking game a whole lot.
Well, you don't expect so. You don't expect the elements to play much of a factor here today. But it'll come down to good old-fashioned football, blocking, tackling, running, the whole deal, reducing or eliminating turnovers and so forth. And so oftentimes in a game like this, you throw all the stats out of the window, Jeff. This is a rivalry game, the 101st meeting of these two schools. Again, you hope the special teams and all of that do come into play for Wesleyan to get a victory over their rival, Doane Tigers.
Now there you see the offensive stats coming into this game today. There is quite a contrast between offense from both sides. Scoring, same thing. Rushing a little bit of an advantage for Doane. Same thing with passing. But again, you know, there's a lot of things that stand out here that favor Doane coming into today. They've only been 1 of 1 on fourth down conversions this year. Wesleyan's been 4 or 5, so they've had more opportunities to do that this season. And there you see, again, the defensive stats from both teams.
Well, Doane, they come in here as the defensive juggernaut. They come in here to own it. They come in here to team tackle. They have the attitude, and here it is, Jeff, the swagger as they come into Able Stadium. So, listen, Nebraska Wesleyan's going to have to punch them right in the mouth and take some of that energy and some of that swagger away from Doane as they start the onset of this game.
Well, Jordan Peterson will kick away. There you see Corey Jones to the left and Shaka Taylor to the right. They'll be the return men for Nebraska Wesleyan. And Jordan Peterson, the Creek Cardinal, will kick away.
Got to be solid in the return game here. Try to get as much as you can.
Here is the kick. Low driving knuckleballer going to be picked up by Corey Jones at the 7. Jones with a little bit of an opening, not for long though. He was tripped up on the return around the 15-yard line. And that time it was Cole Wiseman who made the stop on Corey Jones, who takes it all the way to the 27-yard line. And that's where the Prairie Wolves will start on offense.
Yeah, nice head of steam by Corey Jones. Got as much as he could, north and south. Not a whole lot of dancing and so forth. Just got as much as he could. The northeast product. And Wesleyan comes out, has to sustain some drives here. Haven't been sacked, but one time has been Green. And so that offensive line has to hold the Tigers back.
And there you see Green. They'll work out of the pistol setup with an off-eye person over to the right. And a quick swing pass. It's going to be tipped up in the passing lane. Incomplete. And that time it happened to be Jared Figener who came in to make the stop, essentially, getting that hand up in the passing lane. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Prairie Wolves.
And that's what you're taught to do as a defensive lineman. Get your hands in the air.
There are your starters. There you see the quarterback Green, Theus, and Weedle are in the backfield for Nebraska Wesleyan. Larson, Schneider, Jones, McEwen are the receiving core. And here is a handoff. And the carry all the way to about the 29-yard line, about a 2-yard pickup on the play for Nebraska Wesleyan. Looked like Shaka Taylor got the carry that time. There you see the offensive line. McAravey, Blocker, Smith, LaMarche, and McCarthy make up those trench positions.
They're going to have to get it done here at the line of scrimmage. Big 3rd and 9 here for Wesleyan already. Doane on defense. 2nd in the nation, in NAIA rather, in rushing defense.
We'll call it 3rd and 8 here for Nebraska Wesleyan. Here's Green. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught by Corey Jones. Gets the first down. Going to be stopped at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, nice and solid throw by Green. Corey Jones gets right into the seam, right over the middle. Nice pitch and catch for the first down.
There's the Doane starting lineup on defense. There you see Thomas, Wiseman, and Muff. Those are the defensive backs, and that's secondary. There you see Thatch, Borcher, the GPAC Defensive Player of the Week. Mock among those two. Baumsberger, Kruger, and Hanlon. Hanlon again, who had some Defensive Player of the Week honors a few weeks ago. 1st and 10 here from the 39. Rollout pass, caught at about the 45-yard line. And the reception made by Nebraska Wesleyan. That looks like it was Mitch Pancost.
And the Doane Tigers thought he was hit and fumbled, and they recovered, but the officials say, no. He was down on the hit, and a tough hit it was. But Wesleyan, I like what I see here, Jeff, not being predictable, mixing it up early.
Out of the I formation here on the near side on 2nd down. Shaka Taylor cutting out left side, got behind a block, takes it to the 50-yard line and gets a 1st down. A 6-yard gain for Shaka Taylor. And sustaining the drive so far.
Well, that's what you have to do, but I would have loved to have seen him bounce it outside. If you have a little bit more speed, you can get outside. Right there, if he could get outside, he decided to turn it back inside. But you get it out there to the boundary and try to outrun that defensive end. He was already engaged. Love to have seen him run that outside.
2 minutes have gone by here in this opening quarter. Wesleyan now working from the 50. Green.
Got a man open.
Looking downfield, he's got Larson overthrown. It goes incomplete. And yet deep coverage downfield. Doane right on the heels of Larson was Cole Wiseman. But the right idea, a little too much of mustard on that pass that time from Ben Green. But again, a good look.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do, and you want to challenge this Tiger defense in every facet. And nothing wrong with that.
You see it again on the replay.
Like to see him put a little bit, he had a step, put a little bit more air under it.
2nd down here. Taylor gets a handoff off left tackle, breaks free at the 40. He's got some green space ahead, got one man to beat. That's Wiseman. 10-5 diving in. He did not get into the end zone. They're going to say Shaka Taylor was out of bounds at the 8-yard line of Doane, a 42-yard gain, and we got a Doane player down to the sideline on the far side.
Well, what a tremendous, and that's what we talked about last time, Jeff. Busting that thing outside, getting down the sideline. I think it's number 48 will be the one on the ground here.
That's Wiseman. Wiseman took a hit.
I think he took an elbow as Shaka Taylor right here. Oh, he took a stiff arm right in the face. Wow. He bent that neck back a little bit, but boy, what a run by Shaka Taylor down the left sideline.
And there is a timeout in the field as they check out Wiseman right outside the 5-yard line in Doane territory.
Yeah, and that's what you're taught to do as a running back. Get that arm out there, stiff arm, but he got him right under the chin, it looked like. And
well, now we got Matt Franson, the head coach, walking down there. Now you got, looks like one of the training staff members from Wesleyan that's walking across the field. This could be a serious injury.
Yeah, so he hit his face as he hit the ground there.
And that's not good. Well, he's sitting up.
That's good.
That's Cole Wiseman. Wiseman is the sophomore from Sutton. And now he's up. And that's a good sign. So Wiseman is up. He'll get checked out.
Well, just took a little shot there. He felt awkwardly after the stiff arm, hit his face on the turf. Just shaking up a bit. He'll be back. He's a player.
So 1st and goal. This is from the 8 of Doane. Wesleyan out of the I. Here is Joel Weedle trying to bump off a tackle, gets the carry, fights his way forward down to the 5-yard line. A 3-yard pickup for Joel Weedle.
Yeah, this is what's going to be critical, Jeff. You're down in the red zone. You got to cash this baby in. Field goals, yes, they help. They get scores on the board, but you got to get 6.
Get up early. Try to maintain a presence defensively. The Doane defense is, again, we talked about this in pregame, ranked 10th in the country. One of the more better defenses you're going to find anywhere.
Yeah. So anytime you can score a touchdown, you better get one.
2nd and goal from the 5.
Maybe a little play action here.
Work out of the I. There it is. You called it. Green looking into the end zone. And a touchdown catch made. Reception by Caleb Conway, but they're going to wave it off, it looks like.
Yeah, what a defensive play.
It was incomplete.
By the Doane Tiger as he was beginning to pull it in. The Doane defender slapped it out of his hands. You'll see it here on the replay.
Watch this again. It was right to him, too, and looked like he caught it and then knocked it out of there. Good heads-up play that time from Ben Muff.
And Muff saved a touchdown. And you got to really grab that ball and bring it in away from the defender. Muff does a tremendous job on the hack, if you will.
Jones and Pancos for the slots. Weedle in motion out of the backfield. Here is Green looking to throw, and he'll roll to his left, runs into a tackle. He's going to be taken down for a loss of yards. And the Prairie Wolves will face 4th and goal back at the 16-yard line. And let's bring out the field goal unit. Here comes Kramer Rath, a guy that's been 4 of 4 from field goal attempts this season.
Now, of course, you don't want to give up the sack. Only the second sack given up by Wesleyan, but that was a coverage sack because Doane had everybody covered in the red zone, and so Kramer Rath has to get the first 3 points on the board here for Wesleyan.
This will be a 23-yard attempt from the left hash mark for Kramer Rath, the former Southwest Silverhawk. Here's the snap of the hold. The kick is up, and it is no good. It goes wide left. That might have been partially tipped, too. And so the Prairie Wolves, on their opening drive, it looked good. They just could not finish and could not get points on the scoreboard. And that's something that we'll probably allude to here if things go the other direction here the rest of the way.
Well, that's a victory, obviously, for the defense. Here it is here again. Let's see what happens. And it looks like maybe somebody did get their hand on it. But give credit on that previous play to Ben Muff. Wesleyan has the touchdown in the end zone.
It was a good look.
As Caleb Conway was trying to bring it in as the tight end from Ben Green, but Muff hacked him right on the arm, took that pass away, and now Wesleyan, goose egg on the board here after a nice drive.
Brandon Stewart in at quarterback for Doane.
See if they have to reset the clock here. There it is.
And so the clock winds down. Stewart will spread it out. Here's Corey Kalkworth in motion. Stewart, quick pass far side right, and the flat goes incomplete. Intended target was Mitch Marvin.
Now, unlike their defense, Doane on offense, not so stellar. 45th in NAIA in terms of ranking and passing. So
there you see the offense. Stewart, then the tailback Meyer. Meyer very effective. And then there you see the receiving core, Cornelius Wetzler among them. And here is a handoff. Meyer going around right side, going to be forced out of bounds around the 25-yard line. There you see the rest of the offensive line there. Reeves, the product from Central City. Todd and Webster among others. And Shores over there too for the Doane Tigers.
Sure does a good job. He has to give that shotgun snap and give it effectively.
3rd and 5 here. Stewart out of the gun. Quick pass complete at the 30-yard line. Catch made by the tight end, Kellen Unvert.
Nice simple pitch and catch there from Stewart to Unvert. Just only need 5 yards. He just goes out and just turns right around. Big tight end.
That's a pickup of 10 on the play. There you see the defensive starters for Nebraska Wesleyan. Kelberod, Betcher among them. There you see Vandenberg, McGill, Beard, and Hand, the linebackers. Here's a handoff. Meyer on 1st and 10. Spins out of a tackle, gets up to the 50, and finally taken down in the secondary by Nebraska Wesleyan as Drew Ogna made the stop.
Well, right after that field goal miss, the Doane Tigers now sensing the momentum in their favor, not wasting any time.
Had a brief glimpse there of the defensive line for Nebraska Wesleyan, and now penalty flags come out on 1st and 10.
There's a flag on the field.
And this may be a false start against Doane.
Yeah, on that right side of the line there, just a bit off balance. When you're trying to go up tempo.
Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yeah, they're trying to go up tempo, trying to keep Wesleyan on their heels. And so just too quick a start there.
Eric Todd was the guy that jumped off there and moved when he wasn't supposed to. So back at the 47. It'll be a 1st and long here for Doane. Stewart hands it off. Meyer finds a path, breaks tackles, tripped up. Nope, still on his feet. Down the near side. Got a man to beat, tries to use a stiff arm as he tried to elude Kellen Vandenberg or Kalen Vandenberg, but Meyer takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big run there for Meyer.
That's about a 50-yard run, Jeff. And just like Shaka Taylor, he gets outside, contained, and down the sideline. Not blazing speed, but just enough to elude, and then he tries to stiff arm as well. brought down. You got to be careful on that kind of tackle that you don't get your legs hurt.
First and goal. Meyer bumps off the tackle, found a crease, got into the end zone. Touchdown, Doane.
Wow. That's just power and speed. He did most of that on his own. And Wesleyan don't get the score. Doane comes back, gets the 6.
Take a look at this again. He bumped off a tackle there, and he found a crease. Good help in that offensive line to create the opening, and Meyer takes it in for 6.
Yeah, look at that. You got a tackle. Big number 90 had him in his grasp, but didn't pull him in. And that was Shook.
Here's Peterson for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. 9:24 opening quarter. Doane on their first drive capitalizes, and they lead it 7-0.
This is the new amazing. This is the life we dreamed of. This is me and you.
Introducing UBT Go, digital banking from UBT. Send money with a click, deposit checks from your phone, and more. We're constantly adding new capabilities so that wherever you go, your money will be right there with you. Visit ubt.com/go. Union Bank, you belong here.
Good crowd on hand for this one this afternoon here at Able Stadium. A mix of orange and the brown and gold. 9:24 on the clock, opening quarter. Doane strikes in their first drive. 7-0 to start for the Tigers.
Again, Wesleyan right there on the doorstep, Jeff. Could not cash it in. Give credit to Muff again, knocking the ball away from the tight end for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Let's see if Wesleyan can respond. Here's the kick. Corey Jones going to pick it up at the 5. Up to the 20, eluding a tackle briefly, but not for long. Quickly wrapped up over here on the near side of the field by Andrew Vinton, up to about the 22-yard line.
So what's key here, Jeff? Okay, you had an opportunity to score. You didn't score. The other team went down and put it right in your face. And now how do you respond to that? Now that's the key for this second drive for the Prairie Wolves. Got to sustain something. A 3-and-out here, totally detrimental to what you're trying to accomplish here today.
So the work from the 22. And the work out of that eye. Well, the play action. Green got somebody over the middle, and it goes incomplete. Good coverage downfield. Tanner Thomas with good coverage. Looked like Schneider was the intended receiver for Wesleyan.
What a play by Tanner Thomas. I tell you what, that's beautiful. That's how you want to play defense. That's a senior, 5'9", 165. Let's look at the off arm. Can't really tell. He's right in perfect position. Like to see that ball thrown out just a little bit more for the Wesleyan receiver.
Try it again. Here's a pitch. Weedle gets it around right tackle, takes it to the 25, gets a 3-yard gain on the play. A number of Tigers over there to make the tackle.
Well,
among them was Jordan Pelletier.
And he laid a lick, I'll tell you that. These Tigers, they run to the ball and they lay a lick. So you might get a few yards, but by the time you get back up, you're going to need some Ben Gay, some Absorbine Jr. sometime tonight.
Out of the gun. Third, and we'll call it 7. Pressure's on, the blitz is on, eluding a tackle. Green throws it out of bounds to the far side, incomplete, a 3-and-out.
Yeah, and we just spoke about it, Jeff. That's not what you want. And by going for that bomb on the first play, you put yourself in second and long situation, and you're playing right into the hands of the Doane Tigers.
So the Prairie Wolves go 3-and-out, and they'll be forced to punt.
And you don't want a confident team to gain even more confidence.
Right.
So they're already confident. They already got that swagger.
And Wesleyan, all they're doing right now is just playing into what the Tigers want as Gelb gets the punt. And going to be waved as a fair catch at the 41-yard line by Corey Kalkworth, the senior from Crete.
So now you got you've given them a shot, you've taken a shot, and now that 3-and-out. Now the defense for Wesleyan has to get a turnover, has to play solid, has to make some adjustments. Meyer found his way outside and got down the sideline.
Matt Franzen has done a pretty good job of turning this program around.
Oh, indeed. I mean, Tommy Frazier was there briefly for a short stint. Not so well. Franzen has come in and done a tremendous job.
Here's Stewart on 1st and 10. Pass is tipped up, almost intercepted. Russell Beard got a hand in the passing lane. Good defensive effort from Russell Beard, and Kalen Vandenberg was over in the neighborhood too with deep coverage.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stewart's going to want that one back. Look at the tight end, the running back, Meyer, out there in the flat all by himself.
And Kalkworth, the intended receiver, was not turned around yet to try to get the football.
Well, that would have been a great opportunity for Wesleyan to turn this ball game around.
Doane will try to get on 2nd and 10. Fake handoff to Meyer, rolling right as Stewart. Pass to the far side is complete. At about the 42-yard line, reception made on the far side by Jacob Cornelius, the wide receiver and the junior out of Grand Island.
Yeah, nice play design there. Nice run fake and then roll right. A strike to Cornelius in between Wesleyan defenders.
Well, they've established the ground game. Now they're working the passing game, and a jet sweep around left side here as Kalkworth gets it on 1st and 10. As he cuts out here to the left side and finally tackled by Ogna out of bounds, and it's enough for a first down. We'll spot it around the 28-yard line.
Yeah, nice jet sweep here around the outside. Got to get as much as you can north and south. Finally corralled and taken out of bounds.
Dual receivers each side. Meyer gets the carry, and he is met up with a big bear hug, and no gain there. Riley Shoemaker was the first guy that got to him.
What I'd like to see a little bit more is Wesleyan a little bit more attack defense. They're kind of waiting for Meyer to get to them. You got to get some more penetration, some better penetration on that defensive line. Meet him in the backfield.
Meyer got about 3 yards on the pickup. Ball just inside the 25. Stewart, handoff, around right side. Spinning out of tackles, running down inside the 10-yard line. A first down for Doane. Garrett Sonderup, a freshman from Genoa. He's the fullback that got the carry.
Well, I tell you what, he's just running hard. Look at this. Finds his opportunity, his opening there, then takes the tackle, spins off, still keeps the leg churning and burning, and then gets across that 10-yard line. Boy, that's a nice, tough run.
You got to credit Kalen Vandenberg for finally getting the stop. And Sonderup's going to get the carry again.
Still driving those legs. Wow, what power in his lower half there. 2 or 3 guys on him, and he's still driving his legs.
Takes it down to about the 3.
And right now, Doane is just exerting their will at the point of attack.
Sonderup gets the carry again, right into the end zone. Touchdown, Doane. Just like that. And that's impressive, John Harris, because, I mean, we knew what type of offense Doane was wanting to set today, and they've actually demonstrated what they wanted to do in their game plans. You see Sonderup, who takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. But, again, they've thrown the ball. They've ran the ball a lot. What Matt Franzen wanted to do more of, unlike what happened last week where they could not get that established against Northwestern.
Well, they've definitely got it established here so far.
Here's the extra point attempt. The kick is no good as it goes wide left from Peterson. So with about 6.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter, it's 13-0 Doane on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
Able Stadium is where we're at for GPAC football today on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. And Doane already with a 13-0 lead over Nebraska Wesleyan. They have scored on their first 2 drives of the game. Wesleyan, in their previous 2, have fallen short. In fact, the first drive of the game, look at this, 145 yards of total offense so far.
Well, and it all begins when Wesley didn't score. They had the opportunity and didn't get it done, and Doane just has now taken the momentum and run with it.
Taylor gets it at the 3 on the return. Taylor still up and finally stopped. All it took was Andrew Vinton to come up and meet up with them, and Taylor stopped short of the 30-yard line.
Nice job by Taylor Monks not blocking the Doane Tiger in the back. He was right around the 10, 12-yard line. Had a block and didn't take it. Maybe just used his body kind of as a shield as opposed to pushing the Doane Tiger in the back. It's so easy to want to block the guy, and when you see his numbers, can't do it.
Brian Keller, 20th year at Nebraska Wesleyan. 80 and 62 all-time in his career as a GPAC coach. Swing pass here on the right, complete to Schneider at about the 32. He'll take it ahead to about the 33.
Now you want
it's about a 4-yard pickup.
Sorry, Jeff. You want some productivity on first down to put yourself in shorter distance positions in the second and third down, and so you get as much as you can, 5-6 yards on that first down. Really helpful. But that last drive, they threw that bomb on the first down. That puts you in total jeopardy against a defense like this.
You got Taylor's alone setback, and they'll shift up the receivers over toward the left side. That's Conway being one of them. Taylor gets the carry to the 35, stretches ahead to about the 38-yard line. Good pickup for Shaka Taylor. He gets about 5 on the play, and it's going to be short of the first down with about a yard to go.
What a name for a lineman. Andrew Blocker, big number 60, comes pulling around from left to right, Jeff. Opens the hole for Shaka Taylor, and now a more manageable short distance for the Prairie Wolves. But you got to continue to convert.
3rd and short. Theus and Conway move to the left. This one goes to Weedle. Weedle going to be stopped.
Penetration.
And that's where they got into the backfield, right through the middle. They were able to see where Weedle was going to go. A loss of yards back to the 36. And again, the punting unit back out for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Penetration. Vansberger, Hanlon, the whole crew. They scoped it out, and they were there. Look at that. Just penetration, penetration, penetration. And this could get ugly here if we're not careful.
Here's the punt. Kalkworth going to wave fair catch at about the 28.
So right now, you got to buck up here if you're the Wesleyan defense. Try to get a turnover. Try to get them a 3 and out. Anything to stem the tide here to stop the bleeding. And if Doane just marches down the field yet again here.
Remember, in their first 2 drives, they've already accumulated 145 yards of offense.
Now, of course, we give some of that credit to that big 50-yard run.
Yeah.
By
Meyer.
Yeah, so he was down the left side there.
15 carries for him so far, 78 yards. He'll get the carry this time here on 1st and 10. And nothing doing, maybe about a yard of the play if that. Let's see where they spot the football. It's going to be at the 31.
Yeah, big number 53, Hunter Hand over there.
Meyer carries the ball. He's upended by
trying to go to the short side of the field. Nice defense, stretching it out, Jeff, and making sure you get to a very tough runner in Meyer.
So this will be a 2nd, and we'll call it 9. Stewart, he's going to keep it. He's going to run with it, and he's taken down from behind. Good play there defensively by Austin Shook.
It looked like he had his tight end there. He could have just thrown it to him shortly. You see it here.
Watch this again.
I think he may have gotten just a couple of yards across the line of scrimmage. Oh, hitting the back there. Nice and tough, nice and hard. So big play here for Wesleyan. 3rd and 9, or not 9, but
we'll call it about
6.
3rd and 6, roughly.
Yeah, if you can get off the field here.
Kalkworth in motion.
Watch the flat pass.
Stewart far side. It's going to be overthrown out of bounds, incomplete. And that's positive right there for Nebraska Wesleyan defensively. First time this afternoon they force a 3 and out from Doane.
That's a great stand there by the Prairie Wolf defense. Great job there. An overthrow by Stewart. Nice coverage on second down. He had the opportunity there. And so now let's see if we can get a nice return from either Corey Jones or Shaka Taylor to put Prairie Wolves in prime real estate.
Here's Peterson. Here's the punt. High knuckleballer. Jones going to let it bounce, and this is going to be trouble, and that ball is going to bounce right inside the 5. That's where they're going to spot the ball. That is a good punt from Jeremy Peterson.
He had his hands up for the fair catch. There's not much sun out here, Jeff, so you can't say the sun was in his eyes.
So Jordan Peterson's punt all the way down to the 5. Wesleyan.
So here's the lesser of two evils. Do you try to catch the ball and let it hit you for the turnover, or do you keep the ball inside the 10 and try to sustain the drive? So that time, got out of the way, and now 95 yards for Wesleyan.
They got to work deep. Shaka Taylor trying to elude tackles as he fights his way through traffic around left side. And he's able to muster about 3 yards on the play to the 8-yard line.
Yeah. So if you can establish that, now you can use play action. So if you can have some success, you had a big long run from Shaka Taylor earlier, but you have to continue to sustain that running game so you can now that'll affect the passing game. Because these Doane Tigers, they're an aggressive defense. And so now you got to use that aggression against them some way, somehow.
Well, obviously that's why they only allowed barely even 240 yards of offense from opposing teams.
Well, so this is where draws and screens really come to the fore for your offensive game.
2nd and 7. Taylor gets the carry. And this time he gets an extra gain of about, we'll call it 5 on the play up to the 13.
And he'll have to come off because his helmet came off.
34 must get out, 1 play.
So Taylor will come out.
This time he is double teamed by Garrett Borcher and Colton Hogg.
And so this is a big 3rd down. They'll put Weedle in the backfield.
This is where you can use Weedle, swing him out in the flat, throw him a nice pass. He needs 2 yards.
That's all you need. That's what they're going to do. So they send him in motion. Short screen toss to Jones, who takes a hit across the 15th to 17-yard line. And that was Cole Wiseman. It looked like it was the guy that came in and applied that big hit on Corey Jones. Watch this again.
He's smacked by Cole Wiseman.
Yeah, you want to be careful when you throw it across there. But Corey Jones, ever vigilant to hold on to the ball, and then he moves his fingers, hands forward, 1st down. And that's a big 1st down from Wesleyan. Deep in their own territory, Jeff, now out of the shadow.
So they'll work out of the I formation. Here's Green on 1st and 10. Turnaround pitch. Shaka Taylor spins out of 1 tackle, runs into a couple more, and it looks like no gain on the play. He is going to be stopped at the 17.
Yeah, when you look at the tape, big number 61 is going to get a little talking to for Nebraska Wesleyan. And that's Kyle Kunkel. Didn't sustain his block. He's going to come off the field here. Didn't sustain his block. Allowed penetration from the Doane Tigers.
Under a minute to go here as Wesleyan going to that huddle.
Now, what I do like about what Wesleyan is doing, they've slowed the game down considerably. So Doane, they can't keep that same energy, but you got to sustain drives.
Long snap count. Here it is. Green. Screen toss. Taylor leapfrogs, not for long. He is going to be stopped. Gets about a 2-yard pickup on the play to the 19. This will bring up 3rd down. But you would think more so than none, they would work the outside routes more offensively.
Yeah, Tanner Thomas is going to go off the field. Something happened there as he was putting his arm out to tackle.
And time's going to run out here as the 1st quarter comes to a close, and Doane has already proven that they're a force to be reckoned with here. 2 quick touchdowns put them up. 13-0 over Nebraska Wesleyan. Quarter number 2 coming up in a moment on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
This is the new amazing. The This is the life we dreamed of. This is me and you.
Introducing UBT Go, digital banking from UBT. Send money with a click, deposit checks from your phone, and more. We're constantly adding new capabilities so that wherever you go, your money will be right there with you. Visit ubt.com/go. Union Bank, you belong here.
There you see the Nebraska Wesleyan dance team. Prairie Wolves here at Able Stadium find themselves down to Doane, 13-0, 101st meeting between these two schools.
And
one of the longest.
Last one for a while.
Yep. At least for a few years. There were some reports indicating that they may renew a home and away series in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah, you want to do that. I mean, being from Missouri, when we moved to the SEC out of the Big 12 and didn't have any ability to play KU.
Yeah, that's
come
tough.
on, you got to keep your rivalries intact.
Third and we'll call it 8. Pump fake. Green got a man downfield. That's Jones, and it goes incomplete. Deep coverage downfield for Doane. Andy Tatum with the coverage on Corey Jones.
Play by Andy Tatum. It's incomplete. Brings up 4th down for Nebraska.
Jeff, I'm just not so sure about those kinds of plays. You have to know that you have a guy beat for sure before you throw that pass. Because if you keep giving the ball back to Doane, now you're going to get, hopefully, most likely for them, a good field position.
Now we got movement on the line. Penalty flags come out. Gelb's punt goes high in the air and out of bounds, right out into the front of the seating here on the west straightaway of the track, of the Woody Greeno track.
And they're going to get roughing the kicker.
Well, there were 2 other flags.
So he may get to do this again, but...
well, one came out, and that might have been a motion penalty against Wesleyan.
So let's watch this. He's going to get really lumped. Bam! Look at that. Wow, he took his leg out. That's a personal foul right there. So let's see if that gives Wesleyan the ball back.
There's the Andrew Gelb out of Bellevue.
We definitely have motion because the Doane Tiger jumped offside, and then the Wesleyan player moved. And then to add to that, to compound the issue, Gelb gets run into by a Doane player. And that's going to be a personal foul, not just running into the kicker, but roughing. If I've ever seen roughing, that was it. You want to protect that player whose leg is extended, and he was in air trying to just kick it anywhere. Multiple conferences here.
Let's get the official word.
The question for the officials is, we know that somebody jumped offside. Was it Wesleyan or was it Doane? And it's obvious that there's a personal foul roughing the kicker. So that's the question. Who are they going to call? Are they offsides or illegal motion?
Coach Keller wanting to know what they've decided.
We had 2 fouls in the play, both on Doane. First was encroachment on the defense. That penalty is going to be declined. Then we have a personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense. That's 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Watch this again. There you see Gelb. He bobbled the punt, and then boom, right there.
Yeah, I don't know what else the Doane player was supposed to do other than try to lay out and try to block the kick. He actually tackled him, which was a no-no. But hey, Doane gives the ball back to Wesleyan, and so it looked like a bad thing for Wesleyan in that they had to punt from their goal line almost. They now get the ball back across the 30-yard line. Now, can they do something with it? That's the key.
Yeah, this is where you need to build.
So now you got to take this momentum and move this ball into the end zone.
Here's Weedle on the handoff, 1st and 10, flag thrown.
Boy, that's where holding oftentimes is the case. And I don't know, Jeff, if you're going to be able to run into the heart and teeth of the Doane College defense.
I don't think you can, the way that they have been stacking up on that line. And
holding, offense number 66. 10 yards from previous spot, replay first down.
And you definitely can't have that.
Right, and that's Nick Smith who got called for the penalty.
You can't have that.
But again, Doane, when they're meeting up with you at the point of attack, it's very tough to try to get through that. Their defense is that stout. And Wesleyan, we kind of alluded to this, maybe work the outer routes, maybe swing passes.
Well, the one play that works against a defense like this is a counter action. Run your fullback, fake to your fullback, and then counter with either your wing back or your other running back on counter action.
Here's Green. Over here to Pancost at about the 31. We'll give him forward progress to the 32. So they'll move it to within a yard of that line of scrimmage. So this will be a 2nd and 11.
Okay, that's good to get that much back.
Well, I mean, they made up a lot for that.
Yeah, now it's time to get another half of it and then finish it off with a first down.
2nd and 11. This ball going to be marked at the 32 in Wesleyan territory. Play action, little rollout, far side. Here it is. Green going to keep it. And he's able to get about a yard from the line of scrimmage, but taken down on the play. And that was Wiseman again who came over. Alex Thatch also came over to help out too. Take a look at this again.
Watch Ruskamp here on the block. Whammo. So there's blocks and tackles all the way around. That's Doane Wesleyan football right there.
And that block was put on the GPAC Defensive Player of the Week, Borcher.
That's Ruskamp, folks. That's a 5'9 junior, 195 for Wesleyan.
Little spark plug.
It's a big third down here, Jeff.
Like a double wing setup. Short toss. Jones tried to reach out for it, could not get to it. It's incomplete. Pressure was on in that backfield, and Ben Green had to get rid of that football somehow.
Well, indeed, and that's okay. So that means they keep that defense on the field. And, just like any other defense, these are human beings out there, not robots. They do get tired. So the more Wesley can sustain these drives, keep them on the field, and, see if they can wear them out in any way, form, or fashion. A little better position for this punt for Gelb.
Gelb with the punt. Low driving punt. Bounce at about the 37, rolls inside the 30. And it's going to be Shoemaker who marks it down at the 28.
Better situation after the roughing the kicker. So Wesleyan did stop them last time. Now see if they can do that again. That offense for Doane hasn't been on the field in a while, so they'll have to get the motor running.
Well, the first two drives ended up in touchdowns. The last drive for Doane ended up being a 3 and out. And you hope that Wesleyan's defense can do more of that.
Yeah, 3-4 defensive look here.
Here is Meyer and the handoff around right side, and boy, Nebraska Wesleyan had Austin Shook initially over there to help make the stop, and then a couple other guys come in to finish him off, including Hunter Hand.
Well, I like the 3-4 look. Okay, give your defensive lineman an opportunity to hold, and then give your linebackers the opportunity to run free and make tackles. And so those linebackers have to be aggressive, have to maintain your lane, be disciplined, and not overrun.
Here's Stewart on second down. Meyer running into a big tackle that time. And it looked like Vandenberg was over there to make the stop.
That's a nice tackle, one-on-one on a very tough runner in Meyer. Vandenberg holding the edge, Jeff. That's what you got to do. Stay on that edge. Don't get sucked in. And he stayed there. And that's the discipline we were talking about just a moment ago. Because Meyer gets offside. We've seen what he can do when he gets outside.
Third down here for Doane.
Now another opportunity for the Tigers, the Perry Wolves, to get off the field. And here they come.
Stewart going to swing it, coming over. Kalkworth gets it, breaks through the middle. 40, cuts out far side. This is going to be a foot race. Betcher trying to chase after him. And finally, Vandenberg gets to him inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him down close to the 5. Let's see where they position the football. They're going to put him at the 6.
Boy, what a play that is. Nice little slip screen there to Callworth, and he's off to the races.
Take a look at this again. Kalkworth gets it from the left side flat, cuts in, and shifts out to the left side. Big gain downfield.
And a nice tackle by Vandenberg, just hustling. You know, that very easily could have been a touchdown, but you just never know how things go. If you save that touchdown, keep running, keep hustling, anything can happen.
2-yard pickup on the last play for Doane, and Max Lawrence in on the tackle that time for Wesleyan.
Yeah, Shadley at quarterback now for Doane on that last few plays.
So far, over 200 yards of offense for Doane. Shadley gives to Meyer. Meyer into the end zone. Touchdown, Doane.
Boy, big play there. On the slip screen, Wesleyan could have gotten off the field. Meyer, his second touchdown of the ball game.
And with 11 minutes to go in the first half, Meyer dances into the end zone. And they lead at 19-0, and Jordan Peterson attempting the extra point.
Missed the last one.
Here's the kick. It is up, and it's good. 11 minutes to go, first half. Doane extends the lead now 20-0 over Nebraska Wesleyan.
I pick Wesleyan because
It's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Well, the folks from Crete and surrounding area, maybe elsewhere around the state, made their way up to Able Stadium today.
And they're all smiles right now.
Yep, 20-0, Doane ahead of Nebraska Wesleyan.
All smiles right now. I'll tell you what, Wesleyan has to turn the tables. And what better way to turn the tables, Jeff, than a big return down the sideline and into the end zone.
Now Wesleyan had a good opening drive to the game. Could not sustain it. They tried going for a field goal and it went wide left. Since then they've had 3 and outs. Shaka Taylor on the return, and he is going to be stuffed. Back at the 20, they'll give him forward progress to the 23.
Yeah, that's not the return I was looking for. But once again, the Doane Tigers feeling themselves. And you could tell even as they were doing their warm-ups, Jeff, they were hooping and hollering.
Oh, boy, they were vocal.
Boy, they were excited. They were, you couldn't tell that they were on the road.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, about this rivalry. These two teams are very close to one another. The campus locations very close to each other. And you get a lot of interest from a lot of people in this part of the state. 1st and 10 almost picked off that time by Ben Muff. Looked like Schneider was the intended target on the far side.
And Muff may be our player of the game so far because it was his breaking up of the touchdown by Conway that turned the tables in this whole thing. Wesleyan was just running it right down their throat. And with a touchdown in hand, and Muff would have none of it and broke up the touchdown catch by Conway. And everything has been all downhill for Wesleyan since.
Theus and Conway will shift up. So go back to an I formation. Here's Weedle. And he's going to be carried and tackled at about the 26-yard line. Stopped that time by Andrew Vinton, that time for Doane.
So now here we are, a critical opportunity. Nice safe play call here. You don't need a whole bunch. You just need a few yards to get this first down, sustain this drive, and this is where I don't mind a little dink and dunk, okay?
Right.
Short passes, sustain the drive, throw in some runs, mix it up a little bit.
Shaka Taylor, as you saw, 7 carries, 62 yards so far in this game. 3rd and 8 here for Wesleyan. Here's Green. Looks to the far side, and it's going to be caught at the 39-yard line for a first down, and leaping up was Bryce Darner to make the catch.
Boy, he climbed the ladder there, Jeff. Went up high for the reception.
Take a look at this again on the replay. There you see Darner leaping up. Out jumped Ben Muff that time.
Yeah, Millard West product from Gretna.
So out of the eye, 1st and 10 from the 39. Wesleyan moving the ball toward midfield. Weedle getting the carry, found a little bit of an opening, a crease, as he takes the ball from the 39 to the 46, gets a 7-yard pickup on the play.
And that's all. Yeah, that's going to be problems for big number 61.
And that's Kyle Kunzel who's going to come out.
He got to run up the back of his leg.
Yep, Kunzel's going to come hobbling out.
Oh, that's you hate those when you're there and next thing you know you go down from behind because the runner has gone up the back of you. The tackle has happened at the base of your legs. At least he's upright. But boy, that hurts.
So the work from the eye again. Here is Taylor around left side. Taylor gets to the 50 and gets a 1st down.
I like the action there from Taylor, but you want to be a running back that doesn't go down easily. And of course, he hit him low. You can elevate, you can get those legs up, get low yourself, take that hit, spin off, but we'll take that.
So from the left side, hand off Weedle. On 1st and 10 from the 50, Weedle gets 4 on the play to the 46 of Doane.
And this is what we're talking about, Jeff. Now it looks like Wesleyan firing off the ball at the point of attack, and Doane here on their heels just a bit. And now this is the opportunity where you want to mix it up a little bit. You run it down their throat, keep that up, and then the opportunity for a little play action gets you over the top.
So the work out of that eye. Play action. Green got some time. He's got pressure. Looking downfield. Tip drill intercepted.
That's a no-no.
That's intercepted. Taken away by Tanner Thomas.
You have to know you have 3 Doane Tigers and 1 Wesleyan Prairie Wolf. You got to know better than that if you're Ben Green.
So a turnover, and here
you
you
got
see
3
it right there. There's that triple
3 Tigers
coverage.
there. Yeah, 3 Tigers there.
Triple coverage.
You have to know that you have the type of player who has the capability to win in that situation.
Yep.
That's a defensive situation there.
And nothing against Conway, but I mean, when you got 3 guys around him, that's almost like an impossible task of trying to get that ball unless it's in a good position and you're able to leap up and get it.
Yeah, there are very few guys who can go up in the midst of 3 guys and catch a football.
Jack Shadley in. He's going to fake the handoff, rolling to his left, and the ball is intercepted by Ogna. And it's going to be picked up by Ogna, and they're going to mark him down at the 45. So the table turns.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Number 86 was wide open for Doane down the sideline. If he had kept running, Shadley could have hit him in stride, but Ogna comes off, and what a kick. That beautiful.
A leaping grab.
Yeah, 86 was down there. He's trying to throw it between the safety and the cornerback. First interception of the season by Ogna. Great job of pulling off. Nice hands catch. Doesn't advance it very far, but gets the turnover right back for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Just shy of 8 minutes here in this first half. From the Doane 45. Weedle gets the carry on 1st and 10, and he takes it about 5 yards down to the 40-yard line. Doane defense that time had some time to kind of meet up with him there, but good little pickup for Weedle. Anything like that, that's very beneficial for Wesleyan, especially with what they got to go up against defensively.
Yeah, but see, what I would have loved there, right after the turnover, you've seen it many times, that's the time you go up top. Okay, a little play action, flea flicker, something. Get over the top and down the field.
2nd and 5. Green with the toss, Taylor. Taylor around right tackle, gets about 3 on the play, tripped up at about the 38.
And again, so you can see it here. Wesleyan is gaining ground. They are pushing the Tigers back. They're getting nice room off left and right tackle. Weedle and, of course, Shaka Taylor here doing some good running here. So they can move the ball against these guys. You have to make sure that you're in good down and distance situations, as we have here.
Ball at the 37.
And may go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here.
3rd and 2, big play. Going to go Weedle through the middle, gets the first down at the 35.
And boy,
he took a big hit that time.
Did he take one?
I mean, those guys.
Bamsberger.
It was Baumsberger, actually, who made the stop.
Boy, look at this stick right here. Bam. Wow.
Baumsberger out of Hampton. But, you got some size on that line for Doane. I mean, you've got some guys that, there are no lightweights on there. They're big, they're physical.
Well, Bamsberger's 6'3", 241. And he might even look bigger than that. I think they might have shortchanged us in the program here.
From the 35, 1st and 10. Taylor gets the carry, tries to spin out of a tackle. Nope, can't do it. And he is taken down for a loss. Andy Tatum makes a stop.
He had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide there for Wesleyan. And this defense is going to stretch anything out horizontally. So if you're going sideways, again, you won't have a chance against this vaunted, ranked Doane Tigers defense. Now 2nd and long situation here for the Prairie Wolves.
Here's Green, Weedle, and Weedle's going to be tripped up. That's going to be a 1-yard loss back at the 38.
Now you're wondering here, Jeff, if the coaching staff's getting a little gun shy here. He throws his interception on that last throw, and so now you're in a 3rd and a must passing situation here for Ben Green. So somebody has to run a good route, get open, and make sure that if you do throw it to a guy who's covered, that he has a chance to win.
3rd and long. Big play coming up here for Wesleyan. They'll spread it out with trips near side, one far side right. Green pump fakes, short screen toss into traffic, knocked away, incomplete. That time I think he got a little bit concerned, thought he had to get rid of the football, and he threw it right into traffic.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Franklin Crawford, number 6 at linebacker for Doane, was right in there applying the pressure to Green. And so Wesleyan is going to give the ball up under 5 minutes in this half.
Gelb in punt formation. He's been out there a lot today.
So his averages should go up.
Yeah.
See, now you got to try to pin here. Try to pin them down inside the 10 if at all possible.
Here's the punt.
Turn around, turn around. There it is.
And they're going to get it inside the 1, outside the goal line. That's a good punt.
There you go. That's beautiful.
And getting down there was Adam Granville.
Platteview. Great job by both. And again, special teams got to be a part of this. I thought he was actually inside the 1, Jeff. He was tiptoeing the goal line.
Well, he may have touched it about the 2-yard line.
But nevertheless, that's 90 plus
90,
yards.
You got to go 98 yards downfield if you're Doane.
Yeah, I think Wesleyan will take that. So what? We don't get another inch.
But again, this is where your defense.
But you got to be careful here. Look on the outside here. Single coverage.
McGill showing blitz. Meyer gets the carry around left side.
Yeah, this is where you want to try to get in there, try to strip the ball.
And he takes it up to about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, so many defenses today. As you get in there in traffic, you're holding a guy. Somebody's trying to grab and poke and push that ball out. We see it all the time.
He's dragged down by Wes Betcher.
5-yard pickup on the play for Meyer.
And that's a good first down pickup for Doane.
On 2nd and 5, Meyer gets the handoff, and guess what? Check that. That was Sondra who gets the carry that time. And a lot of 5s being shared by Trevor Holland that time. It looked like Sondra bumped off one of his blockers. Watch this again.
Well, Holland's just right in there, just wreaking havoc. Look at him there. just clogging up the works. So much so that Sunderup doesn't have anywhere to go.
And it was Tanner Webster that was trying to block for Sonderup. 3rd down here. And Meyer gets it gets the first down, tripped up by Betcher.
And he's hobbled here, but not before he gets a big first down and brings Sunderup back into the ball game.
Boy, Myers got over 100 yards rushing today. He's already scored one touchdown.
And he's down on the sideline there.
Now over here near side. And this time it's Kalkworth who takes it all the way past the 20 to about the 23.
Yeah, about 102 yards for Meyer here in this half. But he is on the sideline at this point. See if he comes back in this ball game.
Myers got 2 touchdowns. I said 1, he's got 2 because he scored that touchdown early on here in this second quarter.
Yeah, he has a 10-yard run, and then, of course, that shorter touchdown just recently.
And now Doane's got to burn a timeout. They didn't like the formation on offense.
Doane, the first charge time out of the half.
2 minutes and 35 seconds to go before the end of the half. It's still 20-0 Doane over Wesleyan on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. Yeah? For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
Some of the kiddies getting to enjoy some of the fun of this Doane Nebraska Wesleyan rivalry.
Hey, why not?
There you see the Prairie Wolf Band. Good crowd out here for this one today. This is always a big draw, regardless of how good or bad either one of these teams are. 101st meeting of these two teams.
Well, again, you mark this one on your calendar. This is the statement game. Yeah, you got to come in and get this one done for the alums, for the school.
And we're talking for both schools.
Exactly.
And now we got penalty flags that come out.
Got to get it done.
Snap infraction, offense. Remain second down.
And we talk about the coaches in this game. Matt Franzen played at Doane. He's a Lincoln Northeast grad too, so he's got connections to this part of town. And Brian Keller played in this Doane Nebraska Wesleyan rivalry as a member of the Wesleyan football team.
35.
So they got to reset the game clock an extra second to 2:35, and that's what they do. And they get that taken care of. I'll finish the thought here in a moment as Jack Shadley out of the gun, hands it off to Meyer. Meyer is tackled at the 22-yard line. But in that series, well, let's go back with Coach Keller. In the years that he played at Wesleyan, the one victory that they had over Doane was in 1980. And when Matt Franzen played at Doane, the one victory they got over Nebraska Wesleyan was in 1993. So as players, they got to kind of share in the spotlight a little bit.
Well, they understand the significance of this ballgame.
Obviously, they know how big of a game it is. Shadley with a pass over here, almost intercepted. Kellebrod was right there, and he had it, and he knew it.
Wow. Right in his hands. Overthrow of the Doane receiver right into the hands of the Wesleyan defender. There it is.
Look at Shadley's pass. Right there, and he knew it. Oh, that's frustrating. But a nice try, though.
Yeah, he'll be thinking about that one in his sleep tonight.
Wow.
Well, you know, there are plays here and there that turn the game around.
Here's the punt.
That might have been one of them.
And a fair catch going to be signaled by Taylor at the 44. Now you get into a situation here of trying to get it downfield to where you can try to get points on the scoreboard before halftime.
Anything, a field goal, a safety.
Exactly.
You can't get 1 point. We'll take 2, anything. But that means they have the ball, so we'll try to get the field goal. But, you want to go in the halftime feeling better about yourselves. So let's sustain something and give Rath an opportunity to put something through the uprights.
Green on 1st and 10. To the near side, diving grab attempted by Ryan Larson. It goes incomplete.
Yeah, out of sync there with the receivers. And again, that's where, Jeff, you can find some success right over the middle. Take 5 yards, take 6 yards. How about a curl route, a quick out route, something in the flat? Just anything to keep these Tigers off balance.
Dual receivers each side here on 2nd and 10. Green.
Double pump.
Catch made by Schneider. They're going to spot him at the 49 of Doane. 3 yards short of the first down, so a 3rd and 3 coming up here for Wesleyan.
Yeah, we'll take that. And now let's get back to it.
They're wasting no time.
Quick hitch here. Right there.
Here's Green. Got an open man. Taylor makes the catch, and he's hit hard, and he gets the first down.
And just barely, but he gets it
wow.
nonetheless.
Take a look at this again. Watch Taylor. Oh, man.
He hits him right when he's getting the ball, but he holds on to it.
Here's Green, near side. Catch to Larson at the 34. And he is finally knocked out of bounds on the near side of the field by Gerard Davis.
Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, nice simple passes. Catch him on the out route, get him out of bounds, and I like he got out of bounds. That stops the clock. And this is what we want to do. Get some momentum here going into the half. Get into this end zone. At best, get 3 points. And be careful here.
Schneider, the wide out far side right. Larson here on the left. The slots are on the left. It's Jones, Pancos on the right. Here's Green. Looking downfield to Larson. In the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan.
He held in there under duress from the Doane defenders. Figener was coming right at him. Hit him hard as Ben Green delivered the pass. Big touchdown for Doane, 29 yards.
29-yard toss from Green to Larson, and the Prairie Wolves strike. There you see it. Well, nice catch.
Yeah, nice post route run by Larson, their top receiver.
And the Prairie Wolves get on the scoreboard, and Kramer Rath will attempt the extra point.
And that's going to get him into the 1,000-yard club receiving.
Here's the extra point from Rath. It is up and good.
Needed 23, got 29.
Yep, minute to go. Doane ahead, though, by 2 touchdowns, 20-7, back with more in a moment.
That's a great job.
This is the new amazing. This is the life we dreamed of. This is me and you.
Introducing UBT Go, digital banking from UBT. Send money with a click, deposit checks from your phone, and more. We're constantly adding new capabilities so that wherever you go, your money will be right there with you. Visit ubt.com/go. Union Bank, you belong here.
Back here at Able Stadium on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network, one of our fine members of our Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew.
Aren't they awesome?
Tell you, these guys get here every game day that we do a home game here at Able Stadium. They get here, I believe, at about 9 o'clock.
And they eat up all the sandwiches before we get here.
Yeah,
What's the deal in the truck there, Jamie? They work hard, but I'll tell you what, they do a tremendous job.
These guys put in some long hours. They got to put everything together, get everything set up, and then tear everything down, and they do a great job. Here on the ensuing kick, it's Drew Klein who returns it, and he is going to try to stumble forward with all sorts of Prairie Wolves.
That's a big return.
That's a huge return up to the 37-yard line.
Wow, and now they can take a couple of shots and at least get in field goal range, but maybe, just maybe, with depending on who comes. Let's see if it's Shadley or Stewart who comes back out. They're now, mixing up their quarterbacks.
Now, the last couple of series, it's been Shadley.
And Shadley almost threw that interception. So let's see if Stewart comes back.
Shadley, the sophomore quarterback out of Columbus Lakeview.
So it is Stewart this time.
And Stewart, the senior out of Bayard, Nebraska, out in the Panhandle. On 1st and 10 from the 37. And it's going to be Meyer, and at the point of attack, a big stop that time by Russell Beard. He had some help from Brandon McGill, Hunter Hand, and Holen.
Well, see, that's what a touchdown and that's what momentum will do for you. It'll get everybody excited, and Russell Hand is excited. Look at this, folks. Blammo!
Look at Brand,
Woo!
big time.
Look
or
at
Beard,
that.
I should say. Russell Beard was the guy that made the initial contact. Now Stewart going over the middle, and Kalkworth was his intended target, incomplete, broken up by Wes Betcher from the safety position.
Well, that's tremendous defense by Betcher, just as he was about to bring it in. And so I think right now Wesley is playing some inspired football now on both sides of the ball. Right, going into the half, that's what you want. But you got to be careful here. You don't want to give Doane an opportunity. You got to keep that energy, keep that concentration. Don't go to sleep. We're not at halftime yet.
3rd and 10. 3 down linemen here for Wesleyan. Stewart rolling to his left. He's going to keep it. He found an opening. Dodges a couple of tackles. Then Hunter Hand and Brandon McGill come in and stop him at the 42. And that's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, that's beautiful defense by Wesleyan. Let's see what happens here. They're still out there, Jeff.
Doane looks like they may go for it.
I don't see why from this standpoint. No way.
Well, timeout called, and we got 19 seconds to go here before the end of the half. Doane ahead 20-7 on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first Filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
Back here at Able Stadium, there you see some of the Doane fans that made the trip up from Crete, some of the students. 4th down here. And Peterson is into punt. Taylor back to return inside the 20 on the other end. Here's the boot. High, booming kick.
Wow.
Taylor going to wait for a fair catch. And they're going to mark him at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, take a knee and get on out of here. Only down now 13. Feeling real good about yourself going into the halftime.
Well, and that pass play from Green to Larson, I think, indicated how much confidence the coaching staff had on that drive. And now you see Kramer Rath, excuse me, working his ability to try to get set up for a field goal as he kicks into that net here on the sideline. But let's see what Wesleyan does here on this play, if they even have to go to that option. As Green will throw it, underthrown over here on the near side of Larson, incomplete.
Yeah, he kind of short-armed that, didn't step into that one at all. I'm surprised that Wesleyan would chance down here in their own deep in their own territory the opportunity to get a turnover and give them a chance to kick a field goal, with a few seconds left. But that's why I'm up here and they're down there.
2nd and 10. Green's got some time, finds Larson at the 25, and it looks like it's enough for a first down. Time stops here with about 3 seconds remaining.
Now, in this kind of play, everybody's deep. So keep everything in front of you.
Coming up at halftime, I talked with Nebraska Wesleyan president, Dr. Fred Oles, getting caught up on what's happening on campus.
Did he have his hat on?
Yes, he did. 1st and 10, time running out here. Green's pass going to be over to the far side. Nobody around except for the Doane defense, incomplete. And the first half is over. We go to halftime. Some surge on offense from Wesleyan late in the first half. They're within 13, 20-7. Doane with the lead on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Hi there. Sorry, couldn't see you at first. I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy, and it's first Filter Friday, so I'm just checking my furnace filter here. Looks like it's about time for a clean one, which I just happen to have right here. You know, a small investment today can really reduce your heating costs and improve your efficiency. You can really see the savings. For more tips like this, visit us at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube. We will see you next time.
This is the new amazing. This is the life we dreamed of. This is me and you.
Introducing UBT Go, digital banking from UBT. Send money with a click, deposit checks from your phone, and more. We're constantly adding new capabilities so that wherever you go, your money will be right there with you. Visit ubt.com/go. Union Bank, you belong here.
You should pick Wesleyan because
It's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Lincoln Electric System is proud to serve the Lincoln area. We can't imagine a better community to work for, so we owe it to our customers and team members to be something even better. That's why we're striving to be the world's best energy company. The kind of people who work for us are the kind of people who will get us there. Reliable people who believe in safety, integrity, and most of all, serving their neighbors. And at LES, the professionals who work here stay here. The reasons are many. You'll get the technology and training you need to succeed and advance. Benefits that allow you to take care of your family's needs and goals. You'll do important work to help create a sustainable energy future for us all. If you are starting your professional journey with LES, you will gain experience in our wide-ranging internship programs. At the end of the day, people stay here, we believe, for a very simple reason. LES is a great place to work, to build a career, and to do something that matters. It's all because we are local people serving local people.
A student, when looking for a college, should try to determine what they are really comfortable with.
you should pick Wesleyan because it's a really good atmosphere. Like, you are going to get a great education.
It's a school that whatever you want to be in life, you can certainly do it.
I wanted a small school, small campus where I could be one-on-one with my professors.
And when I came on a campus tour, I just fell in love with the campus.
My name is Elaine Cruzy, and I am the chair of the history department. We get to know those students really, really well. Hey, Bo, this is Dr. Cruzy, and you're not here, and we're looking for you, so come to class.
Bo Wharton, Ellaville, Georgia. I just think Dr. Cruzy has just been there a lot for. I mean, she's provided me a lot of challenges in the classroom, especially. She's a great professor. She's really interactive with the students. I like her because of that. I just really like the whole campus environment and everything. And I don't know, I like the trees. The trees are really good too. And the squirrels, they're really friendly. Yeah.
Cyrus Jaffrey. I'm from Miller North, Omaha, Nebraska. We got great opportunities academically. and athletically. So it's just a very friendly campus. Everyone knows you. And smaller campus, everyone knows you and can walk around and just say hi to everyone.
Hi, my name is Ira Zeff. I'm the athletic director at Nebraska Wesleyan University. We have 470 students that participate on our 18 varsity sports and 5 junior varsity sports. Nebraska Wesleyan takes a lot of pride in the concept of the student athlete, and we really encourage our athletes to get involved in all different activities across campus, as well as their involvement with our teams.
Traditionally, it's really good academically, and I just really like the community feeling at Wesleyan. Everyone's so friendly, and just the professors and everything's it's really nice. And you always can go out and do fun things, but you feel like you're in a really safe atmosphere.
I belong to Theta Chi fraternity, and Greek life in general. I think it's pretty great. Get involved right away. Start getting to know people as soon as you can. It's been a great experience.
I would advise to bring one thing. I would bring open mind.
And don't get stressed out about finals because they're not as bad as everyone says they are.
Be open, ready to try new things.
Bring shelves.
Bring your bike.
There is a club or an organization to satisfy just about any interest.
My name is John Stimmick. I'm transferred in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They really care about you here. They really work hard for us, and they put in countless hours to help us get better.
We give them goals, and they live up to those goals.
I wouldn't trade anything in the world for opportunities like this.
Hi, my name is Jenna Polinsky, and I am a freshman. And I am from Shelby, Nebraska. That's my hometown. I got the campus tour, and I was like, I want to do that. So now I'm the one giving campus tours. And Wesleyan was really good with working with me on student loans and grants and scholarships, all this stuff, because I knew that they wanted me to be here, because that's just the kind of people they are. They want you to be here. I'm Lauren Gingenbach. I'm from Eustis, Farnham, and I'm studying biology. A lot of my biology professors, I just drop by the office every day to chat about anything. You can do anything you want, pretty much. Anything from intramurals, you can be on sports teams. Not only does Nebraska Wesleyan give me the opportunity to study abroad, but it also provides me with the skills I will need to be successful.
I got a lot of scholarships from Nebraska Wesleyan. Wesleyan was very good at just notifying me with what grants or scholarships that I would get. They do a good job of giving me the information I need.
It's just like one big family. Not to mention the kind of education she gets is wonderful.
My name is Ryan Tramer. I'm from Ewing, Nebraska, leaning towards sports management for a major. I looked at a couple other schools, and Wesleyan just the best fit for me. The athletic program is going great here. I'm glad to be a part of it. The campus is great, small campus. Facilities are great. The professors are great. It's just a great place to be.
My name is Megan Larson, and I'm from Beatrice, Nebraska. The education at Wesleyan is amazing. However, I don't think I would have been able to come to Wesleyan if it wouldn't have been for the financial aid. That's Jan Denzing, my financial aid advisor. She's helped me through the past couple of years with all my scholarships. I didn't apply to any of the schools. I know Wesleyan was the one that I wanted to come to.
We want you to come join us and be part of the Prairie Wolf family and be a part of the tradition of success.
Welcome back to Able Stadium here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network, along with Dr. Fred Oles, Nebraska Wesleyan University president. I'm Jeff Moats. Dr. Oles, thank you so much for stopping by.
Delighted to be with you. Thanks, Jeff. It's a great day for football.
It is a great day for football, and this is the 101st meeting between Nebraska Wesleyan and Doane. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for both teams.
It's a wonderful series we've had, very competitive from year to year, and I'm looking forward to a second half of the game that I think will be as exciting as they've all been.
Well, there's a lot of good things happening on campus, well into the academic year already. Some things to celebrate too, right?
That's right, Jeff. Yes, we have the largest class of new students in decades who've joined us this year, and that goes along with strong enrollments in our programs for adults who've come back to college to get a bachelor's degree, and also the programs we have for master's degrees.
and a few other things happening too on campus to talk about as well through the fall.
Yes,
as well.
sir. Jeff, we've done some nice renovations recently. I was just yesterday over at the library, Cochrane Woods Library. We've got a whole new arrangement for student study on the first floor. Lucille Fritz, a graduate of 1934, made a generous gift that made that possible for us. We've also rebuilt Pioneer Hall, one of our residences, delighted with the results there. And we have a nursing skills lab in the lower floor of Olin Hall of Science, and that's a great new facility for students who can do 4 years of nursing.
As always great things happening here on campus. Things just keep getting better and better.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks very much.
That's Nebraska Wesleyan University President Dr. Fred Oles here at halftime. Back to Able Stadium in just a moment on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Amazing. This is the life we dreamed of. This is me and you.
Introducing UBT Go, digital banking from UBT. Send money with a click, deposit checks from your phone, and more. We're constantly adding new capabilities so that wherever you go, your money will be right there with you. Visit ubt.com/go. Union Bank, you belong here.